Welcome to a dose of deeper contemplation. We have cultivated this self-healing practice as we navigate the many aspects of modern life with the desire to be a better human. As a psychic medium, these conversations are channeled, so let's take a walk together and talk it out. Okay, raw share on this walk. What is raw share, you may be asking? That is the term we like to use when we are feeling pretty raw, like emotionally raw. And what's interesting about those moments, it's so vulnerable to share. It's really vulnerable feeling to share when you're feeling pretty raw emotionally. And what we have found, though, is that vulnerability is the key to so much, even just into basic worthiness. And this rawness is the result of a trigger, and a fairly significant one, where an endeavor we have been pursuing for at least a year and found some folks who would support this endeavor, very much needed support, and interviewed, met with them. Everything went great. Everything was going great, and waited months and months and months. But then they pledged their support to this endeavor. And when they pledged their support, it was tears of happiness, joy, miracles, magic, affirming, so many things. And one of those affirmations is like, yeah, we're on the path. We're on the quote unquote right path, even, if you will, right? Right. But there it is, right or wrong. And that's made up. But it was a joyous moment to receive the pledge of this support. Very joyous. So if we want to swing the pendulum in the other direction, it would be the heightened opposite of that feeling when we just received a call saying that they changed their minds and are withdrawing support. And we thought that their support was the key to manifesting this endeavor. And those moments can take us off guard, as we say. We also say sometimes it's a shock. So the emotional cocktail of that moment was shock, disbelief, dismay, rejection, sad. The feeling was sad. The feeling was fatigue, even. Like, and at it. And it was like, yes, it's happening. And then wait, no, it's not. So what are we, square one again? In many other situations, this might have even been a moment where like, we give up bringing this vision into manifestation. It's too hard. We have to keep showing up and believing in it, even if others don't. We have to keep that strong connection to the purpose of it. We have to keep examining ourselves under any frequency of lack. And that just because these folks aren't funding it, doesn't mean it's not funded. Just because these folks aren't supporting it, doesn't mean it's not supported. It's all about alignment. That's it. But alignment won't happen if we give up. What a ride. But we're sitting there with our emotional cocktail, and what we know about a mental and emotional health and emotional intelligence is the best thing to do in those moments is feel all the feelings. So we cried, we were angry, we were frustrated, we sat ourselves down in a chair and just crossed our arms and stared across the room, sat there with sores, like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? We accepted all of the feelings, and this was within a safety zone of our own space so that the feelings can be felt without any projection to anyone around. We did share our truth, and it was spoken through emotion on the phone to the person who was delivering this news. We did share the frustration that they could imagine is completely valid in this situation, to be told and pledged one thing and then months later just change their mind. But it was about having that conversation, owning our own emotions, giving it some simple words to express that truth that's there to say, and then accepting and knowing that it's just needing to move on now. And once in that space, off the phone, we cried. It was disappointing, and just let that emotion come up and out, and then sat in stillness to be in conversation, sat in meditation. And though we came into that space with the intention of a question, which at first was, why is this happening? Why is this not happening? But instead was, what are you showing us? What is our guidance from this, our lesson? What is it that we need to know with this manifestation? Unexpected manifestation. And the downloads that came through were very interesting. Of course, loving, of course, encouraging trust, trust the magic, trust the magic. This experience with this organization has shown us something so deeply. It is something that we have been connected to for so long. What we mean by connected to is that we feel called to be of service in this sector of human experience. And that is the endeavor of healing homelessness. That this basic need of any human life for safe shelter is provided if you're a human and you exist on this planet. Because there is more than enough resources here in this existence for that to be the case. But resources are not being distributed in a balanced way. Some have so much and others have nothing. All it would take is for those who have to wake up and want to give to those who don't, because they can. Because they can. Money is one of those resources. And there are folks sitting with accounts and accounts and accounts of money, more money than they could ever need in their lifetime or their family's generational lifetimes. All they would have to do is share, give, want to give to those who don't have. And there are many folks who do that. There are many folks who do that. But what if we inspired more? What if we were able to inspire more folks? Folks who have to give to those folks who don't. Every single human being in a body has a frequency, and that frequency is an energy of how they are feeling. And the channels are off around here. They're tuned in to something else. They're not tuned into harmony, in balance with all living things here and existing. We can change that frequency by changing ourselves into a place that also feels more at peace and more at balance. It is the deconstruction of an entire suppressive system in order to end homelessness. But it is an endeavor that is in every cell of our bodies. And even though we've known that for years and years and years, especially in the years that we've spent working with folks in their homes, knowing what the power of having a sacred space is, how that changes lives, how that changes how people feel, and so that changes their frequency. It can be such a powerful experience. And though we've known this so deeply, it has not hit home the way it has this last year when our dear friend became homeless because she chose to leave a domestic violence situation. And this amazing sister has different abilities, and she's diligently, now that she is safe, working on healing what is considered her disability. And though it seemingly would be that there are so many resources out there that would come forward and help a disabled woman who's homeless, it has been an incredible challenge over the last year to use the different programs, whether they're privately funded by the government, like any of them was a firsthand experience, some of the challenges that are part of that world and just further recognize our privilege. And how can we lend this privilege? And after this endeavor for a year, found an organization that accepted her into their program. And within that program, she would have so many resources and support and have a place to live for a year. That was a joyous moment and a relief to know that our friend and dear sister was going to be okay. She's going to have a home and she's going to have some support. And even though there was something that changed and now she's not accepted into the program, and we continue the journey to try to find her a home, try to find those who are willing to give, to support someone who has very little. But despite what she has or doesn't have, she is a human being and she's a pretty magical one. All that she has been through and endeavored, she is still one of the most loving, kind, and compassionate people we have ever met. Though the outcome of this experience was not necessarily the expected one, the trust is to stay in the magic and know that her alignment and our alignment with this endeavor is on its way. That this experience was needed to reveal to us all of the things that it revealed, to ground in a personal experience the continued importance for our endeavors to go towards this cause. Because why not? We're here. We have a calling to do it. So why not? Why not continue to dedicate to this endeavor? That continued energy, that continued presence is what will amplify that attraction. It's making that magnet stronger, even in this moment of being raw, talking ourselves back from the ledge of despair, shifting into conversation with the highest self and guidance. Being like, okay, not that direction. Got it. What's the next direction? We're here, we're listening, and to experience rejection as just redirection. And that wisdom has been passed around for quite some time, and grateful to all the folks who have experienced that wisdom or teachings that say rejection is simply redirection. It also feels like in this moment, resolve, a strengthening into resolve. Another way of saying that is don't give up. Keep believing in ourselves. Keep believing in the vision. Show the resolve and the devotion. It amplifies the energy. So grateful for this space to share raw share. Thank you so much for being with us. This is Deep Dose. We are Eden.